All right, so this is going to be a get ready with me. Get ready with me as I prepare my family for a trip to Cancun, Mexico. One of the burdens of knowing some of the things that I know and seeing some of the things that I've seen is realizing that you have to be vigilant and you have to be prepared to take care of yourself as you navigate the world. So often, it is such a luxury and privilege for people to not have to think about potential bad outcomes, right? They don't have to think about what happens if, because they rely on other people to think those things for them, right? We do that in our lives. And in medicine, I feel like doctors are sort of charged with that responsibility to participate in public health, to establish guidelines that help keep people healthy. So, as a physician, especially as I travel internationally to a developing country, I am aware that there are things that I have access to here in America that may not be widely accessible to me or my family or friends in other countries. And even if they are accessible, me having the ability to gain access requires a little bit of navigation that may be unfamiliar to me. So, acquiring the necessary help, tools, medications may cause a delay. As an ER doctor, I know that delays can mean death. So I have an issue, I have a problem, and I do recognize that, and I do not try to put that onto other people, but I do carry this burden, responsibility, worry. I'm not sure what the correct term is, but I do feel a sense of anxiety about preparing for this trip. So I am in the process of putting together prophylaxis, medications, supplies, and information so that when we travel, we are safe. And the people that travel with us are also safe. So I'm going to have you get ready with me as we prepare for our trip to Cancun, Mexico. All right, common things are common. So, of course, going to any place, you'd want to take your normal medications and you want to take some common over-the-counter medications. And yes, while many countries, including Mexico, have pharmacies where you can buy medications, why would you want to make a decision to leave your resort or stop your trip to seek these medications when you can just bring them with you? And a couple of these medications, or several of these medications, include some that are shown here: Imodium, Benadryl, Robitussin or Sudafed, some sort of cold and flu medication, Peptic acid, Tums, GI medications. I highly recommend Zofran, Ondansetron, which is a dissolvable tablet for nausea and vomiting. And I also highly recommend azithromycin, which is a pretty broad spectrum antibiotic that kind of works on respiratory issues, works on GI issues. Sometimes it can work on some skin issues. And I think that it has great utility as a general antibiotic. After I post this question on my Facebook for physician friends and colleagues to weigh in, I realized that maybe there were several components that I actually was missing. So after the discussion that is shown on the Facebook page, I am going to actually add some topical steroids. I'm going to add a oral steroid like a prednisone. I am going to add some eye drops, some ear drops, antibacterial eye drops, ear drops. There is also a concern for some mysterious deaths that have happened in Mexico and resorts that were attributed to carbon monoxide. So we are going to bring a couple of carbon monoxide detectors. There is also a report that there are cases of malaria in Florida and Texas. So if malaria is actually in Florida and Texas, in places where the CDC and authoritative agencies would say you don't have to worry about malaria, you can rest assured that it's actually going to be an issue in Cancun. So there is prophylaxis that is available for malaria that we are actually considering taking. You start typically a week or two before you go, you take it while you're there, and you continue it for several weeks when you get home. And finally, there was the issue of vaccinations that was introduced in the Facebook thread, which was a great suggestion, a great reminder. Typhoid, hepatitis A, in addition to your normal childhood vaccinations, your normal vaccinations that you get to work in healthcare, those should be up to date. And reminders to avoid drinking the water. And, that's going to include brushing your teeth. That's going to include fruit. That's going to include smoothies. Things that have water or ice are going to potentially be problematic and may cause some GI upset, traveler's diarrhea, nausea, and vomiting. So you want to make sure that you avoid that, but also be prepared to deal with it. Finally, there are topical agents like aloe vera for burns. There's hydrocortisone cream for itchy rashes, outbreaks, dermatitis, things like that. I think that those are good things to bring with you. And I actually think that you should add to your arsenal some snacks, some comfort foods, because if you are sick and you're not feeling well, having your favorite snack, your cup of noodle or some peanut butter crackers or whatnot could actually be very refreshing. So this is going to be my comprehensive list of what I intend to bring to Cancun to try to maximize the safety and ensure that I am able and capable of treating a multitude of minor ailments, traumas while we are there, so that maybe we don't have to leave the resort to seek medical services, because as a physician, I can provide a lot of those services, particularly for my friends and family.